I remember
Yeah.
saying that to myself. I was like, wow, she's really cool. But that was it. I took the no matter and went to bed.
I know, literally. It was just such a cute little fun thing. And
Yeah.
like, I'm always going to have that special memory with me
Yeah.
because it was like a unique way of flirting and
Yeah.
like letting the other person know, oh, I'm not with you, but I'm thinking about you. So I'm going to put this gnome in a
Yeah.
place gnomes don't go.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was nice. And our friends honestly started noticing it before we did too.
Yes. Yeah.
There was this one time where two of our friends, for whatever reason, after I'm pretty sure I made dinner that night, and we were finishing up eating our pasta, and our friends were like, stare at each other. And I was like, what?
It was very strange.
And they were like, you need to look in each other's eyes. I was like, what are you guys talking about? And I was saying these things. He was just like staring like, they can't be serious right now.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't even making eye contact. He was just like, twirling around his pasta. And then they're like, no, that's how you know when someone's in love, when you can keep eye contact. And I'm like, my face got so red because at that time I was denying the fact that I liked him. And I was like, guys, like, what do you mean? We just met. Like, relax.
Yeah.
They're like, no, stare at each other.
Yeah, they made it very weird. I'm not gonna lie.
So then we stared at each other, but then he broke contact. And honestly, I was a little disappointed, but I was like, this was weird. I'm going to bed.
Yeah. It might have been the moment where I personally allowed myself to just kind of share my feelings and allow them to be vocalized, because up till that point, I did like her. I liked her, but I wasn't admitting admitting it to myself. I wasn't admitting it to myself. I couldn't say that word for some reason. So we decided we were going to go on a run this one morning.
So I was like hype on getting everyone to run with me because at that point I was just on a running kick. I just enjoyed running to exercise, and I wanted people to run with me. So he decided that he would go with me that morning.
I'm not much of a runner. I don't really love running, but I just wanted to be around her, and I thought that was a fun thing to do. We met outside the Airbnb and we went on this run. We went to this local park that we were familiar with. She ran around this park like 3 times, I think. I ran around once. She could have kept going if she wanted to, but it was me. Like, I was like, we got to go back. So we decided we would walk back.
Yeah.
As we were going down the block where the Airbnb was, there's this little park with like a concrete wall that we could sit on. I was like, hey, let's just sit and wait a second. I didn't really want to go back, and she didn't really want to go back. We wanted to, just enjoy the time, enjoy the day, enjoy being with each other. We sat down and I confessed to her that I enjoyed being around her, and the specific words were, I feel great when she comes into a room. I really did, even at the beginning of the trip. This is a couple weeks in. I remember her just being there and me feeling like, wow, I feel good right now, And I admitted that to her, and that was probably the first time when I admitted to myself, I said the word right that time, that I liked her. And that was it. For me, that was just like, okay, I'd love to start a relationship.
Yeah, there was definitely that for me too. I was so like touched and I felt so happy because, I liked him. He was a handsome guy, very smart, very intelligent, very, in tune with the Lord. And like, I remember that day. So we were like, a couple houses away from the Airbnb, and we were walking, and I remember I was on the outside of the sidewalk, and I was like, no, you go here. And he was like, you're right, I do go here. And for all of you guys that do not know, you go on the outside of the sidewalk. The woman is always on the inside of the sidewalk. That's A1 like gentleman etiquette.
I was so willing, I had seen these things. I wanted to do that for Natasha because it's appropriate. It really is when you get down to it. They're small things, but they mean a lot. Again, you decide as the guy, okay, I'm going to stand when we walk on the side of the sidewalk closest to the street because I'm showing that I'm protecting you from oncoming traffic. Little things like that. Opening her car door.
Yeah, and he opened the door for me when we got into the house. All of our like friendly interactions before then and at the Airbnb on the mission trip, he's always opened the door for me. And I am not the type of person to be like, oh, I can do it myself. Like, no. If you want to open the door for me, I'm going to let you open the door for me. I find that to be so respectful. I'm giving you the honors to do that. Yeah. I'm respecting myself by allowing you to do that for me. Awesome. And I appreciate it because that was one of the things that I asked for specifically. Because I wrote down on one of the things on my list, he has to open every door for me. Why did I write that down? Because my father opened every door for me. My dad has never ever let me touch a doorknob in my 22 years of life. Watched my husband. So when he did that, I was like, I noticed that, and like I didn't tell you that then, but I told you that later. I was like, I really appreciate you opening the door for me. That just shows just such chivalry,
That's the word.
and respect, and it just shows what kind of a character he has, what kind of a man he is, and I really appreciated that.
So past that, I mean, there was a lot of growing for sure.
A lot of growing. But before we get into our actual relationship, we need to talk about, we had a lapse in communication at one point. In the beginning of our relationship, like the
that's
very
true.
beginning.
Yeah.
Because I was raised with the ideology, I guess you could say, that when a man wants you to be his girlfriend, he asks. And I took that to heart. I also feel like that's of high honor, of high respect. That just shows that he's serious. He's gonna verbalize it. He's gonna say, will you be my girlfriend?
Yeah.
He didn't think that way.
No, I didn't.
So, and also, it was at the time where in Providence, I was getting asked out a lot by just random guys, like on the street, in Walmart, at my job. And I was like, oh no, I'm with somebody, I'm seeing someone. And it was getting kind of annoying because I was like, are we dating or what? I remember I was like, are we boyfriend and girlfriend? Like, what is this? He was like, oh, no, labels. You could say your
I did
side.
not sound like that. I did not sound like that. No, now I realize that it's a good thing. It is a great thing to say, can I be your boyfriend? Will you be my girlfriend?
Yeah,
You know,
because that just shows you're drawing boundaries around
Sure.
your relationship. It's not like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm talking to you, you can talk to somebody else, or whatever it may be. It's like, no, we're in this for a purpose.
Yeah. And honestly, I think at the time, this is how you know that you've changed over time. I don't even remember why I thought these things. I just, for whatever reason, thought that, when you go out and you'd go on a few dates, you're now girlfriend, boyfriend. But that's not really true. And now I realize that it was more appropriate to ask her, will you be my girlfriend? Because you could just go out and you could just go on a few dates and just never be called girlfriend, boyfriend, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and also, like, we also live in an era where guys take girls out on multiple dates, girls go on multiple dates with multiple guys because there's no set boundary.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not like that. I'm one and done. So is he. But we just needed that line of communication. Be like, you need to ask me to be your girlfriend for me to be your girlfriend.
I like those things because even then, even though we didn't see eye to eye in certain respects, one of the things that I noticed and I really enjoyed is that she liked being a woman. She wanted to walk in the role of a woman, which is a great thing. I wanted to walk in the role of being a man, and that's a good thing. Being a gentleman, opening the door, asking a girl to be your girlfriend gives them the respect. And on the woman's side of things, the woman is not made less of because these things are done for her. She's prominently shown as a woman.
I'm honored for who
She's
I am by
honored
these
by
things.
those things.
Yeah.
Women should be honored
Yeah.
by the man.
So, like, me wanting to be asked to be your girlfriend, that was me wanting to be honored in the view of a relationship.
Sure. Yeah.
As the woman in the relationship.
Yeah.
Because, like, I wanted there to be a clear boundary because the world that we live in is very different. I didn't want my values or morals to have to be diminished because of the world we live in. Like, I wanted to uphold those same standards because it's not that hard to be like, it's not that hard to be like, will you be my girlfriend?
Yeah.
So then you can talk about you first asking me to go on a date.
At the time, I didn't want it to be such a big thing in terms of I wanted it to be comfortable. I wanted it to be casual. Like, hey, you want to go hang out? Let's go to a restaurant or something like that. That's what I thought at the time. I remember that was kind of the moment where I was, taking a step out.
It was cute.
You don't want to be rejected, obviously. So my deflection was to do this and not actually look at her, which I should have, but at the time I didn't. I think it was a good first date.
It ended up being a really, really nice
It was a nice
time.
time.
Like it was just such a chill, low key, comfortable date.
Yeah, well,
Like it just really set the scene for us as a couple
Yeah.
and how we are now. Like
Yeah.
chill, low key, fun. We can make any scenario fun. He brought me to this beautiful bridge that we ate insomnia cookie at, and it was just so nice. We talked about the Lord.
it was a nice time.
We like wreaked havoc on a CVS.
Oh yeah, we were trying. Oh my gosh, we were trying everything.
We were like throwing napkins around. I don't know. We were kids. We were being kids, even though it
We
was
tried.
literally 2 years ago.
I guess it's not as bad as we're joking about.
It wasn't bad. It was very mild. Like we weren't hooligans.
We were trying Clorox wipes and
Yeah, we needed to get
So-
Band-Aids and like something,
Yeah.
so we were just having fun.
we were so rebellious.
I know.
taking
We were
forward,
rebellious for innocent Christian kid
Yeah.
version of rebellious.
I guess, yeah. You know, the dates moving forward were very nice.
Yeah, the second date was really cool.
The day was, yeah.
It was nice.
But I mean, definitely a word of advice for younger guys.
Or even guys your age
Guys,
now. Because
yeah.
we're 22. Like, we're not old.
For you guys that want to establish a relationship with a woman, be assertive with it. Show that you care.
Yeah.
Show that you want to make this person your girlfriend. That you want to treat her the right way, you know, and show her that. Be
And-
like, hey, would you like to go on a date? I'd like to go on a date. And then, you know, after a few dates or so, or 2 dates or whatever you feel led to it, do you want to be boyfriend and girlfriend?
And the right woman will accept that. The wrong woman will not accept that.
Yeah.
Everybody's different, and if you're anything like us, then
Yeah.
take this advice. You know, take it with a grain of salt, but
Yeah.
also figure out where you fit into what we're explaining.
Yeah. And I wanted to add, I mean, throughout the summer, I learned so much in multiple areas being with her. I learned a lot about talking with people and dealing with people and making friendships. I learned a lot about how to treat her. I learned a lot about myself, and I learned a lot about the Lord. We were in a very uncomfortable place, being away from our homes for almost 3 months, like you said. A lot of people that we didn't know, trying to change an area with the Lord. Being with her gave me so much comfort. It gave me a lot of perspective. It changed me in all those areas that I mentioned. And I don't think that we would have had the time that we had. I don't think we would have had the experiences that we had. I don't think that we would have grown as much as we did if it weren't for each other.
100%. I also learned a lot about how to be specifically like a good girlfriend, friend, person for you. And I still am. It's always a work in progress, but I definitely would not have the relationship I have with God if I hadn't met you,
Yeah.
for sure. Like, without a shadow of a doubt, I know for a fact.
Yeah.
We both impacted each other in very positive ways,
Yeah.
and that was essentially the story of how we started dating.
Yeah.
Comment below if you want more videos on us talking about us, how we got engaged, the dating process, relationship advice. Comment down below what videos you guys want to see next on my/our channel. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next video. God bless you and peace.